Yo, what is going on today, guys? Bashtianygo here, and today, guys, I want to go ahead and point out something a lot of people have forgotten about, which is this deck right over here. Centurions are going to be coming out in Valiant Smashers in just about, what, a week or two? We are about a week or two away from one of the most exciting and under-exciting, I guess I could say. It's completely going under the radar, guys, as far as what a set can really bring to the table. Now, of course, there are two additional archetypes that come in here. We had the Memento and the other archetype that has like a pendulums and once a fairy, once a demon. Regardless, guys, I want to go ahead and take this week, just go ahead and take a look at some of the archetypes that are going to be coming up in this Valiant Smasher set, starting with Centurion, which is the most hyped archetype coming out of Valiant Smashers, and rightfully so. This deck can pump out Calamity like nobody's business. Extremely easy combos to go ahead and do this as well. You can mix this with the Horus engine, you can mix this with the Super Heavy Samurai engine for a little bit more of a budget view on it, and I really like the way this deck overall plays. So today we're going to be taking a look at each and individual card of the Centurion archetype. If you guys want to go ahead and skip that, I have a deck list, a deck profile coming up towards the middle of the video, and then at the end of the video I am also going to have a quick combo tutorial for you guys. You guys see exactly what the deck can do with a test hand for you guys. So let's get right into it. So first up on our list, guys, we have our tuner monster of the deck. We have Centurion Primera. Now, this was inspired by the amazing anime Gurren Lagann. If you guys have not checked it out, I believe it's 25-27 episodes long. It's not going to take too much of your time. Really cool anime. Would highly recommend. But that's just for the artwork, guys. Let's go ahead and get right into what these cards actually do. There's a level 4 spellcaster tuner effect, 1600 attack, 1600 defense. The stats don't really matter too much because you are only going to be using this card to synchro summon away everything on your opponent's turn and during your turn as well. But I'll show you guys what I mean in just a second. What is really cool about the Centurion archetype is that all their monster effects have effects if they are monsters, but they also put themselves as continuous traps in the spell and trap card zone. So what does this mean? Because they are continuous traps, they have a lot of quick effects. They can go ahead and activate the special summon themselves out and then gain additional advantage during both your turn and your opponent's turn alike. So while this card is treated as a continuous trap, level 5 or higher Centurion monster you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. So that's really nice. Of course, you gain additional protection to whatever you may have on your board. You can only use each of the following effects of Centurion Primera once per turn. If this card is normal special summon, you can add one Centurion card from your deck to your hand, except Centurion Primera. So any Centurion card, you can add the field spell, you can add the other card that we are going to need Bonfire for. But this deck list is not going to have Bonfire, guys. It's more for current format. And then once we get Bonfire in the Maze of Memory set, whichever one the next one coming out is, I believe it's going to be January, February, we'll be able to go ahead and play this deck at full power, guys. So you can add one Centurion card from your deck to your hand, except Primera. Also, you cannot special summon Centurion Primera for the rest of this turn. So you already special summoned her, so you just can't do it again, which is fine. During the main phase, while the card is treated as a continued trap, you can special summon this card. So you can actually do this during your opponent's turn as well to gain immediate advantage. And it's just anytime during the main phase you can special summon this card. So the second your opponent does anything during the main phase, you activate this, chain this, activate whatever you need, and then proceed to synchro summon, which again I'll get to in just a little bit. So that's going to be the first card, of course. Really fantastic starter. It searches you any Centurion card, any card that says that on normal special. Really good right off the bat. Next up, guys, we have Centurion Trudia. Now, of course, the names might change once they come over to the TCG. Actually, there you go. See, English card name not official. It's a Pyro, which is why we need Bonfire. So it's a Rhoda for Pyro monsters. Dark effect, level 4, 1000 attack, 2000 defense. So this card read, guys, during your main phase you can place both this card you control and one Centurion monster from your hand or deck. I love that line, or deck, except Trudia, face up in your spell and trap card zone as continuous traps, which the other one can special summon itself for free during the main phase. So obviously you have a huge synergy right off the bat. Also, you cannot special summon this card for the rest of the turn, yada. That's nonsense, doesn't matter. During the main phase, while this card is treated as a continuous trap, you can special summon this card and then increase its level by 4, making it a level 8. So you have a level 8 plus a level 4, making yourself a level 12 synchro. You can go ahead and immediately synchro summon with. So obviously, right there, really good, amazing effect right off the bat. So you have your tuner, you have your non-tuner, and then you have your high level 8, which is really just going to be a one-of in your main deck, guys. Really, I don't think you should play any more than one, but it's Earth Machine level 4. We have Centurion MF6. So you have your more mech style guy over here. So during your opponent's turn, if this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can target one Centurion monster you control, place it in a spell and trap card zone as a continuous trap, and if you do special summon this card, you cannot special summon Yabba for the rest of the turn. Special summon one during the main phase. While this card is treated as a continuous trap, you can special summon this card. So as long as you have a Centurion card on your field, right, and your spell in your monster zone, you can activate this effect to special summon it back by putting it in your spell and trap card zone. But if you have not special summoned that card already, you can activate this continuous trap effect to special summon it again, and then the field spell, which I'll get to in just a second, will let you synchro summon immediately, even during your opponent's turn, which is crazy. But we gotta check out the synchro monster first, guys. We have Centurion, Legadia, which is gonna be a 1 to 2 of, really probably a 2 of in your Centurion strategy. It takes 1 tuner, 1+ non-tuners. Your monsters with 2000 attack or less cannot be destroyed by battle, which immediately gives protection to this guy, and this guy. So obviously really nice right off the bat, 2000 or less attack. But just by battle, of course, it can still be destroyed by card effects, targeted, things like that. You can only use each of the effects of Legadia once per turn. If this card is special summoned, draw 1 card, then you can destroy 1 monster your opponent controls with the highest attack. Now it says that you can destroy, which means not mandatory, which means you can actually go ahead and draw a card for free, and it's no problem, which is nice. During the end phase, you can place 1 non-synchro Centurion monster from your hand or graveyard spell and trap card, and treat it as a continuous trap. So it gives you immediate advantage to go ahead and special summon them again and again and again and again and again, which I think is absolutely crazy, from your hand or graveyard. So it gives you immediate advantage right off the bat. Whatever you use to synchro summon with, whatever materials you use to synchro summon into this card, you actually go ahead and special summon it right back during your opponent's turn, because this is going to go ahead and put it in the spell and trap question during the end phase. And because they'll have that same continuous trap effect, special summon themselves, you are going to gain additional advantage that way as well. Alright guys, next up, let's take a look at this field spell. Centurion, stand up Centurion, exclamation point. The field spell for this, you are going to want to play Terraforming N3 of this guy, because this card is absolutely crazy. So obviously awesome artwork, great job Konami. So this card cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects while you control a Centurion card. It means your opponent cannot Heartbeat's Feather Duster, cannot Twin Twister, cannot what's it called, Nightmare Unicorn, Nightmare Phoenix. You can't MST it. You can Cosmic Cyclone it, because well, actually, does Cosmic Cyclone destroy and banish? I have to look that up. But cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects while you control your Centurion card, which is obviously really good. Immediate, gives itself protection, love it. If only Mystic Mind had this, right? I'm kidding. You can only use each of the following effects of Stand Up Centurion once per turn. During your main phase, if this card is activated this turn, you can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard and place 1 Centurion monster from your deck face up in your spell and trap card zone as a continuous trap, which of course is an immediate starter for the strategy. If a monster is special summoned, you can, except during your damage step, immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon 1 synchro monster using monster you control as a material, including a Centurion monster, which is pretty much going to be all the time, because this gets you immediately set up to go ahead and do just that. So you activate this, you put whatever one you want in the spell and trap card zone, you activate its effect in spell and trap card zone because it is a continuous trap to go ahead and special summon it. You special summon it, you activate this effect to gain additional advantage, and then you chain link 2, you activate the field spell, or vice versa, and then what you get to do is you get to synchro summon immediately. Get rid of your materials, synchro summon into whatever you want, as long as you are using a Centurion monster, and you just go clean off from there. You can go into level 8s, level 12s, with ease. Super easy, and this is the reason why this deck is absolutely so degenerate, because this is eventually going to be a Calamity turbo deck. Going first, going second, it can do a few other things, which is cool, and going to Cosmic Blazar Dragon, things like that, which is, not gonna be wrong, it has some going second place, but going first, you're primarily going to be making Calamity and shutting off whatever you think, or whatever your opponent thinks they're gonna do. So let's go ahead and keep going, guys. We got Emblem Oath. Emblem Oath is really cool card. So basically you activate one of these effects, place a Centurion monster from your deck in the spell and trap card as a continuous trap, and if you do, you cannot special summon monster from the extract for the rest of this turn, except for Centurion monsters, while you control a face-up card with the original name as the same card play. So it is slightly restricted, but it's just slightly, because realistically you're going to go into the Legadia first regardless. So So it's slightly restricting. And then, or you can set one Centurion spell trap directly from your deck, which can come up really clutch. You can actually, if your opponent wants to target this with Cosmic Cyclone because they fear it might be something crazy like a Tikaboo or Skilldring or it might be, you chain this and you set the, set something else you can go ahead and activate, because this deck has a one more spell, a counter trap, and then another normal trap as well. So you actually go ahead and play cards like Thrust in here to go ahead and search those out also. Next we have Centurion Bonds. Centurion Bonds is a pretty cool card. It's just a one-of, nothing too crazy. It's not like a self-starter like Oath or like Stand-Up, but it is still nice to have just a one-of just in case. So you can place one Centurion monster from your hand or graveyard and your spell and trap card zone as a continuous trap. If a Centurion Synchro monster is special summoned to your field while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, then target one Centurion monster in your graveyard, face it face up, and spell and trap card zone. So basically what it is like a monster reborn for the archetype, because you're putting in your spell and trap card zone, but then they're going to be special summoning themselves out regardless. So it is kind of cool for it. Like I said, it's just a one-up. You search it when you need it, because the other card searches any Centurion Centurion spell trap, so you just go ahead and search it if you needed to recur something from the graveyard in case you don't have any more in your deck. Realistically, I don't see this deck getting too much of grindy duels. Realistically, once you summon Calamity, you just clap them up next turn with enough damage, because this deck, again, just pumps out level 8s and level 12 synchros. That's pretty crazy right off the bat. For the two traps, guys, we have Centurion Phalanx, and now there's a big discussion whether you should play Phalanx or True Awakening. True Awakening is the counter trap. When a spell trap monster is activated, you can send one face-up monster in your spell and trap card zone to negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. So right off the bat, it doesn't say it has to be a Centurion monster. It could be any monster you have in your spell and trap card zone, so that might be pretty cool. In the event your opponent hits you with that Snake Eyes spell, it puts one of your monsters in your spell and trap card zone, which why you would play that card against this deck is beyond me, but I'm just giving you guys an example. So that is really nice to have. Next we have Centurion Phalanx. Target one face-up monster on the field, banish it, and if you do, special summon it to its owner's field during the standby phase of the next turn. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Centurion Synchro monster from your graveyard, special summon it, but it loses 1500 attack, which does come up when discussing the Legadia, because then it'll make Legadia a 2000 attack monster, which then says 2000 attack monster cannot be destroyed by battle. So in synergistic fashion, it protects itself from battle, which is kind of cute. So that's going to be it for all of the support, guys, that we got for Centurion and that we'll be receiving here in Valiant Smashers in the next 2 weeks. Let's go ahead and check out a quick deck list for you guys. Alrighty, guys, here we are with our deck profile. Oh, let me move my face real fast. Put that over here. With our deck profile for the Centurion strategy. Now, this is just a template that you guys can go ahead and build off of. It's not like this is going to be the winning deck list at any YCS or anything crazy. But I wanted to go ahead and show you guys the more budget-friendly version of the Super Heavy Samurai strategy that you guys can play the second that Valiant Smashers drops without needing cards like Bonfire, which aren't even out yet. So it's going to be really cool, of course. So we got one copy of the MX6, 3 Primera, and 3 Trudea. Bonfire, again, is going to be extremely important because you are going to be able to go ahead and search out your Trudea with it, which just makes the deck wildly more consistent. Next, you have 3 Wakaushi, 3 Motorbike, 1 Soul Gaia Booster, and then 1 Big Benkei. What you want to go ahead and do with this is lets you make Baron turn 1, which is nice. But it also makes you do is it helps you make the rank 4, I should say, Infernal Flame Banshee, which if you guys did go ahead and pull it out of your AGOF pack, there you go, have finding some utility for it. So this searches you any Pyro monster from your deck to your hand, what's a Pyro monster? You search out this girl right over here. We get you access to your full engine, full combo right off the bat. And you're not even using your normal summon with the, of course, Super Heavy Samurai engine. But if you already have one of these in hand, then you're good to go, in which case you just make a Baron for free and you're good to go. So nice. 3 Cash Sheer Fenrir, self-explanatory. 3 Ash, 3 Effect Veiler, makes sense. Next for the spells, we play 3 copies of Emblem Oath, 3 copies of Stand Up Centurion, 1 copy of the Faith of Centurion, which is going to be the quick play spell. I played 2 Triple Tactics Thrust, 1 Talents, 1 terraforming. I'd like to play 2 thrust because it lets me search either the imperm or the terraforming, so it does give me additional access to the field spell, which again, the field spell is mandatory to be able to go ahead and synchro summon your opponent's turn, so it's a card you are going to want to have. Next we play 1 copy of our Called by the Grave, 3 imperm, and 1 of the counter trap for Truth Centurion because I just think it's better than the normal trap. Next up for our synchros, guys, this gets absolutely disgusting. So we have IP going into SP, of course. We play the 1 Infernal Flame Banshee, 1 Sky Crisis, 1 Zeus, why not? We play 1 Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon with the Baron, of course. We can play 1 Draco Berserker, 1 Omega. We have to play the Crimson Dragon. So what this does, you make the level 12, you make the Legadia, and then you make, during your opponent's turn, the Crimson Dragon and makes Special Summon Calamity. You turn off all your opponent's effects, they can't do shit, and then you just OZK them from there. So you also played 1 Lulu Willith and 1 copy of Cosmic Blazar Dragon to round off our 15 card extra deck. I think what cards are mandatory are going to be the Flame Banshee, the Axel, the Baron, the Crimson, the Calamity, and the Blazar, and the 2 copies of Legadia. Everything else pretty much you can leave it up to chance or whatever you like. I just like having the IP and the SP for if you have any type of additional cards on board, any leftovers, Xyz monsters, or any leftover super heavy stuff. You can go ahead and just go into the IP to SP, and then you just have additional interruptions that way as well. So that's going to be it for the cards and the deck list, guys. Let's go ahead and get into that quick combo test hand for you guys, so you can see what I mean when I say this deck is going to be absolutely degenerate. Alright guys, so I was doing test hands. This is the first one that really came up for me, and we just went clean off with it. I mean, clean off as far as like, oh, summon Calamity in the opponent's turn, and then you go clean off. So what we're able to do here is we're going to go ahead and special summon Fenrir, of course, activate Fenrir, search Fenrir. We're going to activate the Oath to set a Centurion spell trap, which of course lets us go ahead and set our Centurion, a stand-up Centurion, which of course we need immediate access to. So you have Thrust, we have Terraforming, we have 3 stand-ups, we have 3 copies of Oaths, which does let us get immediate access. So we have 9 ways essentially of getting to this card, so we have immediate immense consistency with it. And with it, we're actually going to be able to go ahead and do some amazing things. But first things, we're going to activate the Tridia effect to place this card and the Primera from deck in our spell and trap card zones. Then we're going to go ahead and pitch the Fenrir to activate the Santa Centurion effect to get our Centurion emit 6 into our spell and trap card zones as a continuous trap. Then what we can do is we actually go ahead and special summon this guy along with our emit 6. So this is going to be able to let us search the counter trap, so we already have immediate advantage for that, and we do have the Tridia in the spell and trap card zone, so we can go ahead and activate it, so we already have a way to have an Omni Negate on board. So what we're going to do, because we have a level 8 and a level 4, we're going to synchro summon immediately into our copy of the Centurion Legadia. Now, did I need to activate the stand-up effect? No, but you know, whatever, new cards. So we have our Legadia already, which is really nice. Of course, when summoned, we are going to be able to draw a card. We draw a second copy of effect with it because we're nice. We already have the continuous trap. And during the end phase, we're going to be able to go ahead and set our copy of Primera back into our spell and trap card zones as an activated continuous trap. So during our opponent's turn, what's going to end up happening is the second that they do anything during the main phase, we can actually go ahead and chain both of these to special summon both of them. And this is going to become a level 8 monster, while this is going to get you an additional search on your opponent's turn as well. And then we can actually go ahead and activate the field spell as Chainlink 2 to go into our Crimson Dragon. So we search out our Fate Centurion. And then why not have additional recursion from the graveyard? Crimson Dragon target itself, send itself away, and then we get target the Legadia and summon out the Calamity right off the bat, and that's pretty much going to be game from there. I mean, this deck is just absolutely super crazy, guys. There's nothing that I can see while play testing or doing test hands combo with this deck that tells me that this deck is not going to be immediate tier 1.5 at the very least type deck. Yeah, it can lose to potentially like a Effect Veiler or Nibiru at the wrong time, be absolutely detrimental with it. So I'm trying to find ways to potentially counteract that. Maybe play cards like Cross-Eyed Designator would be necessary in a deck like this, but like similar to how it is with Chimera. But this deck is absolutely crazy and is so much stronger than any deck that would require those type of requirements, just because you are guaranteeing yourself a Calamity to go ahead and turn off your opponent's entire turn, which means next turn you're hitting them in the face with at minimum 7,500 damage, any normal summon, or you have this, you activate this, you special summon, you bring back any of your Centurion cards, special summon them during your main phase, and then punch your opponent in the face for game. So that's gonna be it for the video, guys. I think this deck is absolutely gonna be super freaking nuts. I don't think there's enough content out there for you for this deck right now. So if you guys have any additional ways you guys know how to play this deck, any additional combos you guys know, if you guys want to see the Horus version of this deck, actually is super spicy and immensely more powerful, just because with the Horus engine it does let you play cards like number 90 Photon Lord, which gives you monster negates, and you can do all that before your Centurion stuff, which is really nice with the Horus stuff. Or you can go into Giant Trainer, or you can make number 38 if you're scared of summoning spells. It just gives you that much more advantage, guys, so it is really good. But let me know what you guys want to see in the comment section down below. If you guys are interested in the Horus strategy, I'll go ahead and upload that later on this week if I have time, because I've been kind of busy lately, so sorry guys with the sporadic schedule. But yeah, let me know what you guys want to see in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe if you guys do enjoy the content, and make sure you guys stick around for the upcoming next 2 videos this week, because we do have, of course, the Memento, and then whatever the other card, the other archetype is called, coming out of Valiant Smashes. I can't remember right off the bat. But again, like, subscribe, buy the merch, and I'll see you guys in the next one.